Alicia Mehmet was told by the hospital that they were going to discharge her father in a couple of days. She had to scramble to look for a safe place for him to stay. She started calling a dozen nursing homes and assisted living facilities, and that's when she realized that her father's care was going to take money, a lot of money.
It was very stressful. I mean, there were just times where I just sat in my car and cried because I didn't know what to do, and I was just worried about him.
Alicia's father, George LaFleur, is a World War II veteran who raised a family and worked just about every day of his life. But when he started falling several months ago, Alicia and her sister knew it was too much for them to look after. So they were forced to find a place for him to stay. Alicia says the conversations at local nursing homes and assisted living centers were polite, but the questions always went straight to money.
Does he have $100,000 in the bank? Does he have $150,000 in the bank? How much does he have in the bank? He doesn't. He has a few $1,000s. Well, I'm sorry, we can't accept him.
Like most people, Alicia didn't plan for this. She thought the cost would be paid by Medicare, Medicaid, or her father's supplemental insurance. After all, he spent his life paying into the system.
He just worked his whole life, and now when he really needed, to have some help, legitimate help, it was hard to find.
George LaFleur is at Grandville, an assisted living center in Greece. Tina Brown is the administrator.
You need to have all your ducks in a row. You need to have a good idea of what mom or dad's financial portfolio consists of.
We know there's a difference between a nursing home and assisted living, but the costs are straightforward. And we wanted to show you exactly what the bottom line is. So here's a sample of the costs we found. For nursing homes, St. Anne's is $405 a day, $147,000 a year. At St. John's, it's $390 a day, $142,000 a year. The least expensive we found is Shore Winds in Charlotte. 90% of their residents get Medicaid, but it's still $300 for a private room and almost $110,000 a year. You could buy a house for that kind of money. Most are private pay, and the more expensive ones want you to prove that you have enough money in the bank to pay for 1 year. They'll take Medicaid, but you have to be on it already. Now, nursing homes are slightly different. Here's a sample of the cost that we found. At Episcopal Senior Life, it's $3,900 a month, $46,000 a year. The top price at Atria in Greece is $4,600 a month, more than $50,000 a year. And at the Rochester Presbyterian Home, it's $2,300 a month on the low end, $27,000 a year.
I think we view the cost as somewhat of a value.
Jim Owens is the program director at the Presbyterian Home. We asked him to explain why nursing homes and assisted living is seemingly so expensive. He gets the same question from his clients, and he says his answer reduces the sticker shock.
We provide meals, housekeeping, medication supervision, full supervision, 24-hour staff. Here we have nurses around the clock. So I think when they see that, and they see the cost, which ranges from $2,325 to around $4,400, they see that as a value.
It's not just the accommodations that they're staying in. You're paying for service. You're paying for somebody to be with mom and dad and take care of them 24 hours a day.
Alicia's father pays $2,600 a month at Grandville, but his Social Security only covers $1,100 of that, leaving Alicia and her family to figure out how to make up the difference.
It's just something my parents never brought up to us. We never brought up to them. We were just living life, I guess, one day at a time. So I definitely wish we had thought of this before.